It's the Eagles going up against the Giants.
Thank you, Larry. Coming to you from just off the New Jersey Turnpike in East Rutherford. We are just about set for football on EA Sports from MetLife Stadium. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken in at the 1. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwan. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Fletcher Cox is a Pro Bowl, all-pro talent at defensive tackle. And even though he didn't have his best year in 2016, still warranted double and triple teams from opposing offenses. If he's singled up, he usually finds his way into the opposing backfield to wreak a little bit of havoc.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run again now with Darkwan. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. shotgun now for Manning. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 69 yards.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
Here's Darkwa. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, it's Manning. A dump off to Vereen. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
On 1st down, Manning. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 5. Now Wentz. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. Past the 20.
Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
I still remember when Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie came out of Tennessee State in the draft, and I called a coach in his conference to ask a scouting report about him, and he said, well, we didn't do anything special. We didn't throw away from him or anything like that. I don't think that coach told me the truth. DRC is one of the best ball hawks in the league, had 6 interceptions in 2016, and continues to lock down elite receivers.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there, And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Now Darquan. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And Ingram holds it in. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run with Darquan. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers...
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On the run, Darquan. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot.
And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Shane Vereen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. Now, they went draw play there on third down around the goal line. Something you normally like to see, Charles?
Oftentimes, people are prepared for a pass in this situation, so the draw is a good call, but it's better when you usually have a lead blocker. If you don't have a fullback, you can use your H-back to pull in front. Sometimes you pull a guard to get out in front. Maybe it's your tight end, but they find a way to create a little bit of extra space. A bit of a surprise down near the goal line, but it was effective in this situation.
It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
This is Ajayi. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a play fake. Wentz going for it all. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We remind you that coming up later tonight, this is going to be a good one. The Cowboys and the Raiders going at it in the East Bay.
Oh, that's old school right there.
Old school indeed. Then Monday night, another good late season matchup. The Falcons and the Buccaneers from Tampa to wrap up Week 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. This is Johnson. He's got it. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard right at the 45. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they knew there were going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him. And he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Brandon Graham in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch. 3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Working from the gun, Manning. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blount, his first 1,000-yard season since what, 2010, his rookie year, and 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Wentz to throw on second down. And this one's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the gun on third down, Wentz. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Throwing is Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Ertz over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. They run for it with a Giant. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. Wentz now on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up fourth.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on fourth down. They'll run it here with Blunt, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Play action. Now Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Cavell Connor in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. Kirk Cousins, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Giants are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Eagles just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's roll those highlights. Offense now with the shot after the interception. Here we'll get a sack by Pierre-Paul. This will go as a loss of 5. We go now to early begin the second. Fareen's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'd cap off the 9-play drive with a TD as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Giants have the football midway through the second. Graham's going to take down the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 9. Eagles with the ball, final seconds of the half. Connor's got the sack here. This will go as a loss of 10. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Guy.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
To throw is Wentz. Smith catches left side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's second down. Now it's a Ajayi. And now running right through it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now Wentz. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So another drive bogs down there, but for the 4th time here, they're able to escape with at least 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so they've needed all of these field goals to be in the position they are.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second down following the run. Shotgun now for Manning. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it'll bring up third down. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing is Manning. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Giants on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Manning. To Breen, out in the flat. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Cavell Connor in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense, and down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Devon Kennard with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit him over the top.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And that will come the offense as they take over. They'll start out on the ground with a J. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Here's Blunt. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Wentz now to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Here's the battering ram, Blunt. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It'll be a gain of 11. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Manning now on first down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be knocked down sideways. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
To throw, it's Manning. And that is incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Ajayi. Open space inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. A dump off to Vereen. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Kendricks in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Manning. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now Wentz. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. On play action, it's Manning. Right side caught by Jackson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there. You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches. Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead. Your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
They'll run again with Blunt. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, brings...
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On third and long, it's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott on for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On first down, Manning. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And his throw is incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Now Manning. Got to have this one. And this is going to be incomplete. The Giants go on fourth, but come up empty. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Play action. Now Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Spinning away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. Now what's the call here?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Brad Wing now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he powers his way up past the 30. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Ajayi escapes him, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission. I think
you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now Blunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 20! And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Eagles, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.